Okay, I don't know what's happening with the slides, so. Okay, so we're going to start with heaven. A lot of you are going to know how it goes, and I'll try to guide you along. I'm so glad I am who I am. I'm so glad I am who I am. I'm so glad I am who I am. Thank you to heaven. Heaven is a place on earth. Heaven is a place on earth, a place in mind. Heaven is a place in mind. It's the place where we learn our worth, yeah. We can go there anytime. I'm so glad you are who you are. 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 Thank you to heaven. Heaven is a place on earth. Heaven is a place in mind. It's the place where we learn our worth. We can go there anytime. Little musical interlude here. I'm so glad we are who we are. 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 Thank you to heaven, a place on earth. Heaven is a place on earth, a place in mind. Heaven is a place in mind where we learn our worth. It's the place where we learn our worth, yeah. We can go there anytime. I'm so glad we're who we are. I'm so glad we are who we are. I'm so glad we are who we are. I'm so glad we are who we are. Thank you to heaven. 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 Yeah, so we have another one. Hey, we still have no slides. Whoops. Well, let me see. Trying to think of. I can't think of anything that's super super easy in the moment. I'll just go ahead and do the one that I was planning on doing, and I'll try to help you along. So it goes like this. An incredible thing is happening. We're all here. Me and you and me, yeah. It's good to be near. I show my appreciation. I declare my dedication. I'm so grateful for this atmosphere. We'll sing it again. An Now we go like this. This is a special time. We're all here and feeling fine. As we go, we know our lives are entwined. This is a special time. This is a special time. We're all here and feeling fine. As we go, we know our lives are entwined. Back to incredible. Son, this. An incredible thing is happening. We're all here, me and you and me. It's good to be near. I show my appreciation. I declare my dedication. I'm so grateful for this atmosphere. I show my appreciation. I show my appreciation. I declare my dedication. I'm so grateful for this atmosphere.
Thank you, Marilyn. That was wonderful. I hope my mic was on. But isn't it great to be flexible? It is. It's so freeing. Yeah, so high tech has its moments and other moments, not so much. So we'll keep trying, but we'll move on. So I want to welcome you, everyone in the room. Thank you for your voices, and also if you're singing along on YouTube. I myself was trying to read lips, and I had a moment when I was thinking about going to Hindu chanting performances and how they'll sing something and then you'll repeat it. I always loved that because it just sort of carried me out of my mind into another atmosphere. So this is the center, the Shera Center for Spiritual Living, and my name is Shera Banbury. I'm a practitioner here, and we are honored to be in this situation together. My pleasure to remind you of who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of creation. We aspire to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves and each other and the world and computers. And we experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, talents, and treasures. We intentionally promote our community and teachings. So we do have one of our ministers here, Barbara Wally. And Barbara, if you would like to come up and light a candle, that would be wonderful. We light this candle to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life, honoring infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen, to remind us of the light of spirit within all of us. Oh, use the matches, I think. Yeah. I know. There you go, old-fashioned good work. now you can use a longer match if you want. Barb, there's another box of longer stick matches if you want back there. Okay. It's be interesting that around the world people are trying to light matches thinking of peace in the world, and it's taking a little time for us to get to peace in the world, but we can hold that in our thought. Try the other matches. Oh, we need a new candle. Yeah. What songs do you remember about peace? Let there be peace on earth and heaven. Well, this is interesting. Talk about flexibility. You know, not everything happens the way we think it's going to happen. And we say in Science of Mind, if there's something that happens that kind of puts you on edge, just know that all you have to do is go through it. And once we get through it, we know there's success. Well, thank you, Barb. That was powerful effort. So now my question is, what's alive in you today? Joy.
Love. Humor.
Humor. Thank you. Love. Yes, love.
Going with the flow. Going with the flow.
Going with the flow. I gave my sister a watch that was handmade that said that.
Stop bombing children.
Say what?
Stop bombing children.
Stop bombing children. Yeah, heavy, huh? Heavy on our hearts.
A world of peace.
A world of peace. Goodness. Yeah, thank you. So we're a praying community, and there are lavender prayer request sheets in the back of the seats that you can fill out, and you complete those and put them in the wooden box by the door, to the left of the door, and then all of the practitioners and ministers pray on those every Monday. We meet here at the center at 11 and spend at least an hour with those prayers. For those of you who are joining us virtually, you can visit our website at sierracenter.org and click on spiritual support, and then prayer and one of our practitioners will reach out to you. There's also a global Ministry of Prayer button on the csl.org website. So some of our practitioners are on call every day of the week. So just know that if you want additional prayers. So I'm welcoming guests. Anyone here for the first or second time? And I don't see anyone who is. So we invite anyone to come who wants to be in that role. And this is the first Sunday. No, this isn't the first Sunday. So yes, on the edge of her seat is our Maxine, who's coming up to do our announcements. Yeah.
They're short today.
Yes, they are.
Good morning. I'm Maxine Cosby. Hello. The Board of Trustees meets today after service. Where are they? All are welcome. We have openings for regular board members as well as a treasurer. If you or someone you know is willing to serve, please contact a board member or email office@sierracenter.org. Sacred Circle Dance is Monday, August 26th at 10:30 a.m. until noon. Locations are to be announced. Contact Judy with any questions, and her number is 530-798-0885. I think I read that right.
0385.
0385. I had a little confusion between the 3 and the 8 there. Okay, our spiritual magazines are available. We still have July and August in the foyer for only $10. In addition, those of you that haven't done this, you can take a magazine from the seat back in front of you and take it home and enjoy and realize how much value there is. You're also invited to become a part of our tech team. If you're interested in learning how to do what we do during Sunday service at the tech table, add your name to the volunteer schedule in the foyer. You can find Zoom links and details about all of our announcements in our weekly e-newsletter and on our website, sierracenter.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxine. So now we got another community song, but we'll just sit and take it in, okay?
Oh, good, you get to see the words this time. So this is the song that, actually, it was culled from some passages in This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. So. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Sing it with me. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Keep it going. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. One more time. Love makes the way clear before me, joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. In my heart. In my heart. Again, in my heart. In my heart. Now really slowly, in my heart. In my heart.
Thank you, Marilyn. We're so blessed to have Marilyn not only as our music leader, but as a performer and as the chair of our board of trustees. So now is the time for our sacred reading. And since I'm doing facilitating practitioner and minister this morning, guess who's going to do the sacred reading? And you know how I like Rumi and Khalil Gibran, so I'm going to read from Khalil Gibran today. This is from Secrets of the Heart. The Ambitious Violet. There was a beautiful and fragrant violet who lived placidly amongst her friends and swayed happily amidst the other flowers in a solitary garden. One morning, as her crown was embellished with beads of dew, she lifted her head and looked about. She saw a tall and handsome rose standing proudly and reaching high into space, like a burning torch upon an emerald lamp. The violet opened her blue lips and said, "What an unfortunate am I among these flowers, and how humble is the position I occupy in their presence. Nature has fashioned me to be short and poor. I live very close to the earth, and I cannot raise my head toward the blue sky, or turn my face to the sun as the roses do." And the rose heard her neighbor's words. She laughed and commented, "How strange is your talk. You are fortunate, and yet you cannot understand your fortune. Nature has bestowed upon you fragrance and beauty which she did not grant to any other. Cast aside your thoughts and be contented. And remember that he who humbles himself will be exalted, and he who humbles himself will be crushed. Exalts himself, will be crushed." The violet answers, "You are consoling me because you have that which I crave. You seek to embitter me with the meaning that you are great. How painful is the preaching of the fortunate to the heart of the miserable, and how severe is the strong when he stands as adviser among the weak." And nature heard the conversation of the violet and the rose, and she approached and said, "What has happened to you, my daughter Violet? You have been humble and sweet in all your deeds and words. Has greed entered your heart and numbed your senses?" In a pleading voice, the violet answered, saying, "O great and merciful mother, full of love and sympathy, I beg you with all my heart and soul to grant my request and allow me to be a rose for one day." And nature responded, "You know not what you are seeking. You are unaware of the concealed disaster behind your blind ambition. If you were a rose, you would be sorry, and repentance would avail you, but not." The violet insisted, "Change me into a tall rose, for I wish to lift my head high with pride, and regardless of my faith, it will be my own doing." Nature yielded, saying, "O ignorant and rebellious violet, I will grant your request, but if calamity befalls you, your complaint must be to yourself." And nature stretched forth her mysterious and magic fingers and touched the roots of the violet, who immediately turned into a tall rose, rising above all other flowers in the garden. At eventide, the sky became thick with black clouds, and the raging elements disturbed the silence of existence with thunder and commenced to attack the garden, sending forth a great rain and strong winds. The tempest tore the branches and uprooted the plants and broke the stems of the tall flowers, sparing only the little ones who rose close to the friendly earth. That solitary garden suffered greatly from the belligerent skies. And when the storm calmed on and the sky cleared, all the flowers were laid waste, and none of them had escaped the wrath of nature except the clan of small violets hiding by the wall of the garden. Having lifted her head and viewed the tragedy of the flowers and trees, one of the violet maidens smiled happily and called to her companions, saying, "See what the tempest has done to the haughty flowers." Another violet said, "We are small and live close to the earth, but we are safe from the wrath of the skies." And a third one added, "Because we are poor in height, the tempest is unable to subdue us." At that moment, the queen of violets saw by her side the convergent violet, hurled to the earth by the storm and distorted upon the wet grass like a limp soldier in a battlefield. The queen of the violets lifted her head and called to her family, saying, "Look, my daughters, and meditate upon that which greed has gone has done to the violet who became a proud rose for 1 hour. Let the memory of this scene be a reminder of your good fortune. And the dying rose moved and gathered the remnants of her strength and quietly said, "You are contented and meek dullards. I have never feared the tempest. Yesterday I too was satisfied and contented with life, but contentment has acted as a barrier between my existence and the tempest of life, confining me to a sickly and sluggish peace and tranquility of mind. I could have lived the same life you are living now by clinging with fear to the earth. I could have waited for winter to shroud me with snow and deliver me to death, who will surely claim all violets. I am happy now because I have probed outside my little world into the mystery of the universe, something which you have not yet done. I could have overlooked greed, whose nature is higher than mine, but as I hearkened to the silence of the night, I heard the heavenly world talking to this earthly world, saying, ambition beyond existence is the essential purpose of our being. Ambition beyond existence is the essential purpose of our being. At that moment, my spirit revolted and my heart longed for a position higher than my limited existence. I realized that the abyss cannot hear the song of the stars. And at that moment, I commenced to fighting against my smallness and craving for that which did not belong to me until my rebelliousness turned into a great power and my longing into a creating will. Nature, who is the great object of our deeper dreams, granted my request and changed me into a rose with her magic fingers. The rose became silent for a moment, and in a weakening voice, mingled with pride and achievement, she said, I have lived 1 hour as a proud rose. I have existed for a time like a queen. I have looked at the universe from behind the eyes of the rose. I have heard the whisper of the firmament through the ears of the rose, and touched the folds of light's garment with rose petals. Is there any here who can calm such honor? Having thus spoken, I shall die now, for my soul has attained its goal. I have finally extended my knowledge to a world beyond the narrow cavern of my birth. This is the design of life. This is the secret of existence. Then the rose quivered, slowly folding her petals, and breathed her last with a heavenly smile upon her lips, a smile of fulfillment of hope and purpose in life, a smile of victory, a God's smile. Love that. Just love it. Yeah. So our community value today, is that coming up for us? Is within us to make choices in our lives. That's the authenticity of each one of us. So that community value is something that we take to heart. Asking myself, am I being authentic today? Am I being authentic in this moment? You bet I am, because I'm here, because I love all of you, and I want to share with you. And I may be a shrinking violet at times, and I might be a rose at times, but I know that I'm here as an expression of the one, and each of you are the same. So there are no mistakes. There are no mistakes in our being here. This is our choice. So now is the time for our inward shift, and I'm going to ring the bowl 3 times, and we'll chant Om after each ringing of the bowl, and then into mind that, you gotta do the laundry or you gotta go to lunch or whatever. Just notice and let them pass. And you might do as I do, which is to just say, what's being asked of me? Om. one spirit, one truth, one active listening, one resonance, infinitesimal fractals, macro worlds and universes. All is one. This oneness is within each one of us. I know that I am constantly being reminded that I am spirit consciousness in form, that this body that I inhabit is part of that oneness, just as every living idea in form is part of the oneness of spirit. Everything that shows up in mind, in form, in spirit is an idea of that which I call God. It is mind-boggling to the human mind to even grasp a little of this wonder, these miracles that we claim that are truly all just part of the demonstration of spirit. So I know that at the Shera Center for Spiritual Living, we all are open to that wonder within ourselves and each other, and that all of this is good. All of it is good. And so I know in my heart that the gratitude I feel for each one who comes to serve here, to be a part of the community, to join us on all different technologies and ways of being. We are one. And so that which comprises me, I recognize is also what comprises you. We are only different in our unique expressions, and we are all one. So in this gratitude, I speak my word into the law of divine mind, knowing that we are open to the receptivity and the demonstration of this truth. And as we go forth, each word we speak, each action we take is from that one mind, that one truth, that one love. And so it is. And so now we have our affirmation. Oh, now we're getting into it. I am a sexy spiritual being. Again, I am a sexy spiritual being. Right. Do you feel it? Do you know it? Have you forgotten it? Yeah. So that's what my talk's about today. And we're going to have a pre-talk song from Marilyn, and then I'll get right to it. Let's talk about all of it.
Fundamentally, we are united. Existentially, I am inspired. You are important to me. Love free of judgment is the key. Unequivocally, you are what you say. Elementally, this is a new day. Breathe in the possibility. Live as you invent your life to be. Give up the act, be who you really are. Life is a movie, you are the star. Take on a role that you appreciate. Step into your life, don't leave it up to fate. And the world goes round and round. Somehow we all stick to the ground. Let's all roll up our sleeves. It makes no difference what you believe. This is the age of transformation. I'm expressing my dedication, bringing harmony into the space, loving up the whole human race. All the world, it's a beautiful place. I'm telling you, give up the act, be who you really are. Life is a movie, you are the star. Take on a role that you appreciate. Step into your life, don't leave it up to fate. And the world goes round and round. Somehow we all stick to the ground. I say let's all roll up our sleeves. It makes no difference what you or I believe. This is the age of transformation. I'm here expressing my dedication, bringing harmony into the space. Oh, loving up the whole human race. Ah, the world, it's a beautiful place. You know, I believe that it is. Fundamentally, we are united. Existentially, I am inspired. You are important to me.
Well, that was my talk, so I have a little treat for you today, I think. My talk is, oh, no, we don't have it, okay. But I have it in form. My talk is about, let's talk about sex, baby. Now, can you imagine my week thinking about this? I bet I learned all different gender terminology. I learned about all different positions. I learned about all the things that my mother never told me. And then I came into focus for the talk. But because of my earlier exploration, I wanted to share this with you. Now, can you see this? It is a kitty on a windowsill pointing its toward the roosters and chickens in the yard. And the caption was, "Addicted to catnip, Fluffy was forced to fund her habit by performing lewd acts for the neighbor's perverted chickens." There's a little of the fun in talking about sex. So, are you nervous? I was, maybe a little uncomfortable. We have in this country a puritanical background. And that puritanical background and a lot of the influences from Europe during the Victorian period have come into our culture. And we are part of the generations that have carried that forward. I know for myself, my siblings and I were never told anything about sex. But I had an early experience of what it might be. And for me, I carried that experience forward. It was going past my parents' bedroom and seeing my dad's and mother's toes intertwined and both of them giggling. Now, I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that they were touching each other, and that just made my heart so happy. And I knew that they loved each other. They wanted that touch. And so I see touch as an important part of loving. And we are humans having this experience of our bodies, and we are spiritual beings. We know that. So the combination of the two is what we're talking about. How do we look at sex? How do we look at the secrets that we hold? Are we able to talk about our bodies without feeling uncomfortable? I mean, they're magnificent, aren't they? Everything that this body can do, we don't even have to know how it does it. We go through lifetimes without having a clue about how this operates. All we know is what we read, really, because we are moving and being, not even thinking about the body. So having that experience of becoming aware of the body brings us into a broader perspective of life. Looking at things in nature for me is very exciting. And I have girlfriends who have written poetry. I'll share one with you, but I just want to mention my friend Una, who lives here in this community, is a poet. And she's part of my clay group, my ceramics group. And she held a poetry reading put to music, singing and music and art. The room was filled with someone local's art. And I was one of about 30 guests invited to that performance. And she wrote a poem about hummingbirds mating that was absolutely yummy. I mean, lusciously yummy. Every word of it. And I thought, yeah, we need that part of ourselves to be appreciated. We are yummy. We are inspired and part of that creative energy of procreation. And every time we touch each other, and we know how important hugs are, we are sharing that. So I'm not suggesting that we be like narcissists who might say, you know, I'm terrific, I've got everything, I know how to do everything, and man, I'm a great lover. And you're not. No, that's not the way we go. We acknowledge it in ourselves and in each other. Now, you might look at the person to your left or right and say, holy cow, you did that? You know, like we do with our parents. It's like, really? Somebody else did what I did? Well, I have to tell you, I had a wonderful experience when I was a young woman coming into the nature of my own sexuality, my own body. Thankfully, but not everybody has that experience. But you know, I remember it like it was yesterday. Nobody else knew either. It was my secret. And I carried that into the final owning of it at my 50th high school reunion when we were all getting more open with each other about our early connections. So I just want to say that that Spirit of God, that ultimate creator, is everywhere. So let's talk about it openly. Let's not think that we have to be hiding who we are. And I'm not talking about being too explicit. I'm not going to go there with you because that'd make everybody uncomfortable. But I want you to get the sense of your own sensuality and your own sexuality. And at any age, you know, little babies, right? Touching things, putting things into their mouths and feeling the connection of how they feel when they connect with other people, with other things. The joy. There's no guilt or shame in that, right? That's natural. I had a father once that came to a preschool that I was the director of, and he said, I don't want my 3-year-old son going to the closets and getting out women's clothes during dress up. And every day this little boy did that. And I said, what's the problem? And he said, I don't want him to be perverted. I said, you know what? I think we should talk to your son about this and ask him about it so we can understand better. Why are you, this little cute 3-year-old redheaded boy, why are you dressing up in these particular clothes? And he said, I'm Grandma. Every day, Grandma took care of him. So he was modeling the person that he loved, right? Yeah, and Dad finally got it, so that was a good thing. But there are a lot of fears, a lot of stigma to what people do and how they do it and what they wear and, you know, all the different forms of making love. It's not important for us to know what somebody else does. It's important for us to know what we do and to be open enough to accept others just the way they are. That's a real wonderful thing when we can do that. That's, you know, I've had people come to me as a practitioner and tell me stories that I was like, you know, I'd never heard this before, that somebody did this. But being a practitioner, I'm in that place of acceptance and love. And so I carry these stories in my heart because I could see that people had shame and guilt around their own behavior, that they were experimenting with, just like kids experiment with things. So I've really gone off my talk, but I just want you to understand where I'm coming from. So I know I'm a sexual and a sexy spiritual being, at least in my dreams. And I know that religion has put sex into a shaming place in our culture. When we were children, it was impolite to talk about sex. Our parents would tell us to be quiet. And even when we talked among ourselves, my sister and brother never talked to me about sex either. None of us did, because it just was not the thing to do. So we learned on our own. I had a great experience, but I know people who had terrible experiences because they didn't understand what was good for them. And all of us differ in that. We all have different things that are good for us. So we know how to dress and what music we like and who we'll see, and we miss things in that normality. Taboo topics isolate us on our spiritual journey. We're all impacted by human experiences. By embracing the wholeness of humanity, that we realize our oneness is our wholeness. Not trauma, not abuse, not mental health, not physical health, not racism, not poverty, not politics, not food insecurity, or any other topic is taboo. Get over it. Look beyond it. Give yourself the opportunity to stay open, not only to others, but to yourselves, right? We want to be loving ourselves. We want to be knowing that we are expressing God in form. Claim it. It's truth. And so everything that you experience is part of that wholeness, that oneness. Can you imagine? Think of your experiences that you thought, I got to hide this. I even catch myself with my dogs. Say, don't bark, that's naughty. Well, barking is natural for dogs, isn't it? And yet we have to put them in order. So I'm not saying that we should be flagrantly, talking about things that people are uncomfortable hearing. I'm just saying, let yourself experience and know your own desires, and don't call them unnatural. They're natural and supportive of our divine nature. Every human experience is an aspect of spirit. I have a friend, an artist friend, Linda Stockman, who wrote this a couple of days ago. Every day she sends us poetry and pictures of her beautiful yard, which looks like a park. Starlight traveler, sunbeam drifter, moonshine rider, moving in consciousness. Oh, this night, secreted secrets and sense, daydreamed songs, plants and trees, unburdened show, now shades, animals, birds, stillness, hush, nearness of mystery, expansiveness of possibilities, we embrace in love. Now, is that sensual and sexy? Yeah, you bet it is. I got the chills just reading it again. I got the chills when I read it the first time. But she goes deep. She has told us that she has a different kind of perspective on things. She doesn't go by the norms. And she is very alive in her own spirit. She has a wonderful marriage and family. She has a beautiful home. She's wealthy, she's articulate, she's just full of life. She has some conditions, some health conditions, but they aren't what's important to her. What's important is what she feels and can express. And when she shares it with others, we all take a breath and feel it. And that's what each one of us has the responsibility to do. Live who you are. Be alive in your sexuality, your fullness of sensuality, your joy of openness, and share it and see it in others. That's so important. You might ask, why was I born into this body? I know I didn't know why I wasn't a cheerleader. I said, I'm probably too tall, right? Well, everybody in our high school could tap their heads with their feet, that kind of cheerleading jump. I never could get there. But I embrace my body, and I'm curious about what it offers me and how I respond. Am I supposed to be ashamed of desiring to be a cheerleader? No way. It's just like that little violet wanting to be a rose, right? Let me try it out. Maybe you do a cheerleader kick in your home or something. Just try it out. And have a positive, supportive, divine nature when you do it. I officiated at a Balinese wedding in Boulder, Colorado, years ago. And prior to that, I took a class at Naropa College. It's a Buddhist colony. It was just a couple of blocks from my home. And my friends took a Tantra class there. I'd never heard of Tantra before. And I thought, oh man, this is a bit much. I don't want to ask them too much about it, but I didn't really know much about it. But to me, in my mind, I was into some really weird places. And I love this couple, both of them. But my girlfriend, who became the wife, said to me, it is an honoring of intimacy. Now, in Science of Mind, we use the phrase, into me, see, right? And that's exactly what that Tantra was about when they described it. It was about knowing the body of another in such an intimate way that you could lift up that person into an ecstatic experience just by being in that place of oneness, sitting together. I was really impressed. And I think the attention and energy and love that comes from experiences like that is part of our growth. Everything we do as humans is inherently spiritual, and sex is one of the ways that goodness, loving kindness, and givingness show up. The totality of our individualized expression is one thing, and it shows up as sensuality, pleasure, and intimacy. So, just being a part of this community and the way we love each other and the way we talk and try to act openly with one another, that we appreciate diversity, that we fearlessly go beyond ourself and our own experience, that's why I'm here. This place, these people, we are all inspirations to each other. Otherwise, why be here? We had the pandemic, so we got to stay home for 3 years. Why'd we come back? A lot of people didn't. A lot of religions are suffering because they realize they didn't need somebody telling them what to do or how to be or putting restrictions on them. So in our cultural history, with the discipline and the puritanical ideas, we had shamefulness, and we'd learned to be hidden away in our talking and doing things. But Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, reminds us, quote, "The ultimate goal of life is to be complete freedom from all discord of every nature," unquote. Holmes said in Spiritual Mind Healing, "We are so intimately connected with the universal creative God power that it is impossible to get away from it. Hence, we never have to wonder whether or not we are in touch with it. It is where we are, and we are in it. It is in us. It is around us and flowing through us." Are you ashamed of the God within you? Hadn't thought about it? This made me think about it. Can I talk about sex openly? Well, here I am, doing it my way. So when we learn what we like and what we don't like and more, we need to do deep listening with our partner, inviting them to explore themselves, hearing what they are saying between the lines, and stopping when their enthusiasm says anything but yes. We have a right to our own physical body boundaries, and we expect others to listen, just as we listen to their yeses and nos. That's important, isn't it? Yeah. Sexual history varies from person to person. If a culture views sex as dirty, secret, or only being done in a certain way with certain people, we will remain repressed. Sex and trauma may go hand in hand. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 9 men experience sexual harassment or assault in their lifetime. The numbers are even higher for transgender and non-binary people. Andrienne Marie Brown, in her book Pleasure Activism, The Politics of Feeling Good, said, "I touch my own skin, and it tells me that before there was any harm, there was a miracle." We have a natural inclination to desire pleasure, and we need to reunite sexuality and spirituality to understand that healthy sexuality is an intrinsic aspect of spirituality. I embrace this as deeply as I embrace our wholeness, our oneness in every form, including sex, pleasure, sexuality, and intimacy. I choose to be open and vulnerable. I choose to cultivate intimacy with myself and others. I choose to explore my own boundaries and what I am interested in trying or consenting to. I'm choosing to explore everyday pleasures, such as delicious food, beautiful scenery, miraculous moments, and more. I choose to release the shame that I've been taught and embrace my wholeness that shows up in every form. Ernest Holmes, in Science of Mind magazine in 1993, said, "Through a conscious acceptance of the fullness of the presence of God, there flows in and through us a joy, a love, and a wholeness that touches every part of our being." So here's a quote from Danusha Lamaris, Feeding the Worms. "Ever since I found out that earthworms have taste buds all over the delicate pink strings of their bodies, I pause, dropping apple peels into the compost bin. Imagine the dark, riding ecstasy, the sweetness of apples permeating their pores. I offer beets and parsley, avocado and melon, the feather tops of carrots. I'd always thought there's a medial life, eyeless and hidden, almost vulgar. No, now it seems they bear a pleasure so sublime, so decadent. I want to contribute however I can, forgetting a moment, my place on the menu. Let's be conscious of our words and the impact that they have on others. When new people approach, create a safe space for them. Ask them their name and if you're pronouncing it correctly. Provide everyone with equal access and ability to participate. Understand yourself and then others, and let your light radiate out in your conversation and what you do. Notice if your own shame or feelings of inadequacy make you reluctant to engage with someone who has been othered. Honor your vulnerability. Inquire about their feelings and needs, and invite them to ask about your spiritual practice and theirs that gives them feelings of intimacy and pleasure. Create a transcendence that leads to pleasure and intimacy instead of putting someone on the defensive. Be fearless in saying, oops, and ouch, when explaining you never intended to make them feel uncomfortable. Do you remember when we spoke Pig Latins when we were kids? I can still say Enke Ikpayatnoi. Well, this week somebody posted on Nextdoor, WTH, what the heck, does Skibbity Alpha Rizzlers mean? Do you know? Anybody know what that means? Skibbity Alpha Rizzlers.
You have a lot of charisma.
Yay! Yay, Maya! How did you know that?
I've been studying TikTok.
Okay, well, I researched it, and Skibbity Toilet is a character, an animated man's head in a toilet that embodies the old YouTube poops. So the kids today are using their own language. Alpha Riz is short for charisma. So the quote means a charismatic leader guy who can get any girl in school. A charismatic leader kind of guy who can get any girl in school. Maybe these kids, this alpha generation, Generation Alpha, maybe they'll use their language to talk openly with each other about sex. So I'm going to leave you with this little meme quote. If I get into bed with you and start snuggling, all you gotta do is snuggle back. It helps me fall asleep. Don't start asking me how I got into your house either. It ruins the moment. Thank you. Namaste. So now is our time for conscious giving. And we have another song. Before that? Okay. And then do you play during conscious giving too? If you want. You see how you feel. Yeah. A community song. Right. Right. So, okay, let's do that. Yeah.
So this song begins and ends with a chorus, and it happens in the middle too. So I'm going to show you how it goes right now. Every day in every way. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I got to take off my little bracelet. It's going to drive me crazy. Okay, here we go. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Sing it again now. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. So it'll come back around. Now hear this. Look around, stand your ground, make your own special sound. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. Yeah, you got goodness in you too. Step inside, grow your mind, let yourself feel alright. Shuffle along and groove with the song. Keep yourself moving along. And as the sun rises, your eyes open. Welcome the surprises on the horizon. Ready? Here it comes. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Sing it again now. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Got a little more for you here. There may be a thing or two don't seem to be going your way. Remember, it's not only you here to enjoy this day. Everything is possible. It's right here at hand. Suffering, it's optional. Come on and sing with the band. And as the moon rises, I know that it's okay. I welcome the surprises each and every day. Ready? Here we go again. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Keep going now. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Oh yeah. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. One more time now. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. I've got goodness. I've got goodness in me. One more time, I got goodness. I've got goodness in me.
Marilyn, did you write all of these songs yourself?
Yes.
Isn't she fantastic? Good for you.
I consider myself a channel for these songs. Okay. I don't take full credit alone.
It shows. It shows. That's about staying open. Yep. So thank you so much. And now is our time of conscious giving. So I'm going to say the prosperity affirmation, and if you'd like, you can say it with me. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Oh, Javon is passing the basket. Thank you, Javon.
We are dancing in spirit, each of us knows our part. Sing it with me if you'd like. We are dancing in spirit, each of us knows our part. We are dancing in spirit, each of us knows our part.
Just knowing that all of the good that you have come today with, in whatever form it shows up, is not only filling this basket, but filling all of our hearts. So I'm blessing these contributions, knowing that they are serving the Sierra Center with your love, knowing that whatever energy or caring or just harmony in your own lives is being offered, that is our gift that we share. And so as it shows up in form, I know that it works for the highest good of all, and that it reaches out to others in our community, other charities, and that they are lifted up by knowing that we are helping them as well, supporting them as well. And so I give deep thanks for all of these gifts as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. So now I have thank yous and reminders. Thank you for showing up today. I mean, you could have chosen not to, so I appreciate it. What was that, David? Showing up, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's something to show up every day, isn't it? Just to get out of bed and show up. Some days I think, why am I still in my jammies at 10:30 in the morning? Yeah. So that's because it's yummy, that's right. Yeah, actually that's true. It is yummy. That's a blessing of retirement, right? Yeah. So I just want to thank all of you, and to thank Barbara for so many efforts to light the candle today. Persistence, knowing that it's possible, brings solutions, right? Keep it in mind. Don't give up. Keep trying. Marilyn, thank you for those beautiful songs. I was thinking that one just before this last one, that ought to be published. We should get that out to the world. That was really powerful. Yeah. And I want to thank Javon for helping with the donations and greeting people. So good to have you here. And what can I say, Diana? You brought it through. Thank you. The technology always wants to give us a little bit of a reminder that our imperfection is part of our perfection, right? And that goes for all of the objects like computers too. And Maya, our wizard of the sound system and children's language. Alpha generation, right? Let's support them, right? Okay. Did I miss anybody? Maxine. Where are you? Oh, she left. Okay, Maxine, our announcer. Yeah, she.
I guess Sue left.
And Sue?
They must have had a date.
Say again?
They must have had a date.
Oh, okay.
Went somewhere.
Okay. So just thank you, everyone. So what are you taking away with you today? I think we got the humor, right?
Yeah, humor for sure. Gratitude.
Strategies?
Gratitude.
Oh, gratitude. Okay.
Open-mindedness.
Open-mindedness.
Sensuality.
Sensuality.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Peace.
Peace.
Hello.
Yes. Yes. So, it's time for our benediction, so let's stand, please. And after that, we'll have our closing song. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Is this thing called pleasure?
It is this thing called pleasure.
It is this thing called sensuality.
It is this thing called sensuality.
It is this thing called sexuality.
It is this thing called sexuality.
I know it.
I know it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I sense it.
I sense it.
Because I am it.
Because I am it.
And so it is.
And so it is.
All right. This song is composed about being here in this center. We laugh, we smile, we stay for a while. As a community, we have joy and are free. We listen and we share. We love and we care. We honor this world, and our good is unfurled. Together we stand in community. Hand in hand we are we. We pray and we grow. We learn and we know. All the best will show as we live in the flow. Together we stand in community. Hand in hand we are we. Together we stand. Together we stand in community. Hand